love the month of May, and I'm just trying to enjoy every moment of it, and it's tougher and tougher to do that when the days just go by super quack, super quick, super quack. Wow.
Super quack.
With that, John,
Well, with that, Jessup, I
Go
think we
ahead.
have a caution because, um,
super
well,
quack.
we're not super quacking these days.
No, we aren't. Although the ducks probably are happy now that we have some water puddles for them to jump into.
And just like that, Mason has referred to himself as the duck.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Track Packers podcast for episode 6 of season 5. Another weekend in the books and a little bit abbreviated weekend of racing. We got Jessup on the pole, followed by John Breckle and myself. We are Beckless this week. But Jessup, how are you doing this week?
I'm doing good, Mason. It's the last week of school. The end is in sight. The kids have already, well, they shut it down about a month ago. My kids probably shut it down closer to 3 months ago, but that's another story for another time. Highlight of the day was a kid showing up and the very last hour of the day, and his buddy goes, "Why are you dressed like that? And where were you?" It was for the awards assembly, and the kid turns to his buddy and goes, "I didn't know we had school this week."
That's funny. That is actually funny.
So it's safe to say the kids are checked.
They're checked out. They're ready for summer.
The end is near, thankfully. John, how are you doing this week?
I'm good. I took kind of a relaxing weekend this past weekend, right? Just had one night of racing action underneath my belt. Getting ready for a pretty busy weekend for me for racing action too, that I'm very excited for. As well as kind of excited because this week I'm typically out of town for work. However, it is our annual work conference that we usually have. And we are hosting it this year in Bismarck. So we've got everybody that flew into Bismarck for it, which has been kind of interesting with the weather right now because, Indy's a little bit cold because we got some rain yesterday. Thank goodness. We definitely needed that. And then also though, the amount of severe weather down to the south and to the east of us is crazy right now. And it's causing a lot of flight disruption. So a lot of people have either been flying through turbulence or have either had flight delays or cancellations. So a lot of rebooking has been happening with our flight schedules.
Yeah, the weather definitely took a turn for different trend than the last few weeks because it's been really dry up here. And I know a lot of
Yep,
people that I talked to this week are like, yeah, as much as it affects the racing, we definitely need the rain.
it does. Yep, yep. Yeah, yesterday was a nice welcome. It was basically a nice just day of rain, right? It was pretty much cool, rainy, drizzly. We had over a half an inch in Bismarck. We're taping this on a Monday, so that was on the Sunday. And unfortunately it canceled pretty much all the tracks because it got pretty cold too. But
Mm.
it was kind of much needed.
Yeah, I will say, I had 2 nights of racing this weekend, and yesterday was kind of a nice rest day for me. I took a 4 hour nap. So it was
Nice.
it was well utilized the off day, especially coming up on Memorial Day weekend, which could be a very, very busy weekend. And it's always one of the busiest weekends of the season. Otherwise, I've been kind of trying to catch up on life. Work is still hectic. We'll see. The month of May goes by way too fast. I love the month of May, and I'm just trying to enjoy every moment of it. And it's tougher and tougher to do that when the days just go by Super quack. Super quick. Super quack. Wow.
Super quack.
With that, John,
Well, with that, Jessup, I
Go
think we
ahead.
have a caution because, um,
super
well,
quack.
we're not super quacking these days.
No, we aren't. Although the ducks probably are happy now that we have some water puddles for them to jump into.
And just like that, Mason has referred to himself as the duck.
That is his new
Yeah. Quack, quack. Well, anyways, after my little blunder, we want to thank all you watchers and listeners of the Track Packers podcast. So we've received plenty of good feedback and support. We want to thank a couple of the listeners, including Brody Michelson, who's off to a pretty good start this season in the 18 machine, and also a gentleman by the name of John Clapp. Same spelling as you, Mr. Breckel. So
It is. He has
yes.
traveled to quite a few races. He's also helped quite a few drivers in various big events.
Okay, I was going to say, I'm not familiar with this gentleman, but thank you for supporting the Track Packers podcast as well. What do you say we officially start episode 6 with the waving or drop of the green flag and get into who or what we are repping, with Jessup starting us off?
Flag has been dropped. We are away. John, I am representing the South Dakota Minnesota 100 State Fair Speedway race event from 2011. And John, you're going to tell us who won that year.
I bet you it was some drivers at the Dakota State Fair Speedway in South Dakota.
Very good.
Good job. Who would have won 2011? Let's see here.
Well, Mason, I'm leaving this up to you because I've got answers to this, but I want to see what your thought is.
Okay, let's see here. I'm going to guess, so I'll start with street stocks. Let's start with Mike Jans. No?
John's got answers. I don't know.
Well, I'll just rattle them off while he finds them up, I guess. Let's go Mike Jans, Midwest Mods. I feel like Randy Klein won one of these years down there. Super stocks, let's go Timmy Johnson. Late models, I'm going to say Kent Arment. And modifieds, oh gosh, I'm mixing my years up. I know Gilbertson won, but I don't know if it was 2011. We'll go Buzzy. Those are my guesses.
Okay, well, now let me go get the shirt so I can verify.
Oh gosh.
While
What a
John's doing that, I'm going to bump over to my hat. It is dirt racing at Volusia Speedway Park. A family member got me this a long time ago, so kind of fun one. I'm going to say Marshall Fagers won the late models.
Jessup, you were wrong. Mason, you were also wrong.
Hold on, let me go back.
I forgot that. I actually have a shirt that has all the winners on the back of it too.
Jessup, you're close, but it was not 2011 that Marshall Fagers won.
Oh no. Let me think here.
I mean, if only our memories were good for winners from 15 years ago.
Lance Matthews won in 2011.
Ah, it's close.
Mason, you were correct on mods. It was Buzzy Adams in mods.
Okay.
Superstars.
You said Tim Johnson, right, Mason?
Yes.
For which class?
Supers.
Yes. Tim Johnson won in the super stocks.
That way, Mason.
Who do you guys think won in the Midwest mods?
Dean Larson won the mod fours.
No.
I guessed Randy Klein.
Midwest mods?
No. Nope. Randy won, Mason, and it would have been 2000. Let me see here. What year did Randy take it? Randy would have taken it in 2017.
Oh, that recent. Okay.
Yep.
Hmm.
I think actually 2017, that was the last year it was in Fergus. I mean, in South Dakota before it moved to Fergus.
Gosh, there's so many Midwest mods that I don't know.
Wisconsin driver. He is now in a modified. He doesn't run a whole lot of WISSOTA shows anymore. He runs a lot of open shows. His number is 30.
Matt Lear.
Oh, Matt Lear.
Yep. Matt Lear
Okay.
won the Midwest Mods in 2011. Street stocks, I will give you guys a hint. This driver has been on a tear to start the season in the Wissota Street stocks
So
currently.
it's got to be Tourville.
Yes, yes, it is. Because Tourville went back to back in 2011 and 2012.
Oh,
Um, Mod fours. This driver. Oh, you guys are maybe gonna get this when I say this. This driver is a current IMCA stock car driver. Was also an IMCA modified driver at one point, and has been a past champion on the Dakota Classic Modified Tour in the stock cars.
oh,
Rob Van Mill.
Yes.
cool.
Yep.
Boy, good pull.
Yep.
I
So
forgot
that was
they released
2011.
that. Wow.
Yeah, because Rob and his dad, remember, used to run the Mod Force for years.
I forgot about that. Yep.
And then Chris, I think, was Chris ever in a Mod 4? I don't think he was.
I don't think Chris was.
I think Chris started in a Wissota Midwest mod at one point.
Yeah.
Because he used
Yeah,
to be
because they used to race
44D.
Mod 4s all the time over in Glendon. It was one of their home tracks.
And he used to be 44D. Is
Yes.
what Chris was before he went to the 40 when he went to the IMCA Sport mod.
Well, that's a nice little trip down memory lane. And cool shirt and hat, Jessup. John, who or what are you repping?
We're also going down memory lane.
What a shock.
So I know. So I had this on underneath my polo or pullover today for work. I am wearing the 51st annual Jamestown Stock Car Stampede t-shirt from 2022. Hey guys, who won the Stampede in 2022?
The winners.
Oh, boy.
Which class do you want to start with, John?
Let's start with the Bombers.
Bombers. Huh.
Was it a Michelson?
No. I'm going to say, was it Dylan Sandberg?
It was.
Oh,
Yep.
that's right. Well, did he win like 2 or 3 in a row?
Yeah.
He won 2 in a row.
Okay.
Yep. So Dylan won in 2022. Remember, now this was the year that they added stock cars to the show.
Okay.
It was also the year that it rained in the afternoon on Friday before they raced Friday night.
Mm-hmm. That was a late night.
So
Oh,
it got to be, here's the thing. It got to be a late night, but honestly, it went quicker than I kind of expected.
That is true. Yeah.
Because I think we were done by 1 that night, even though we started like at 8. So
Yeah, they
and
whipped
that was
through
even
the
with
heats.
qualifying features. Because remember, they had qualifying features that night too. Okay, next class. IMCA Sport Mods.
Roselli?
No.
Luke Krogh.
About that family.
It was Luke Krogh. Yep.
Alrighty.
Who won in the IMCA stock cars the first time ever that they were there?
Gosh, I don't remember the stock cars at all.
Trap Mason.
What's that?
It's a trap. It's the same person.
Wait, Luke Krogh won again?
Luke Krogh went 2 for 2 in the
Why
classes
don't I
that
remember
year.
that? Wow.
Yeah. Luke went 2 for 2 and beat Trent Greger. Because Greger was I think the Dakota Classic Modified Tour champion in the stock cars that year.
Okay.
Okay, Wissota Street Stocks.
2020.
This was a really
Oh.
good race. This was
Oh,
a really good race.
John's favorite person.
2022.
I'm pulling a John right now.
I'm drawing a blank.
Who's John's favorite driver?
Did Johnny Carter win that year again?
Yeah, because Mason, that was the year that him and Zach Frederick were going at it
Yep.
for the win. Zach had the better car. So Johnny was just making his car really wide towards the end. That was also the year that Domagala was the defending champion.
Oh, okay.
And he got the last spot at the line in the concede to get in and went from 23rd to 4th.
That's okay.
I remember he was railing at the bottom.
Yes.
Domagala was.
Because that was the year Johnny had the blue car, didn't he?
No, that Johnny had the blue car the next year after that.
Next year, okay.
Johnny
I'm
had
like,
the
I don't remember
all
seeing the blue
black.
car in Victory Lane.
Yeah, the all black when he had that year.
Gotcha.
Okay, so that was the Wasota Street Stocks, Wasota Midwest Modifieds.
Lucas Rodin.
Yes. Do you
That one
remember
is easy to remember.
do you remember who he beat in that race, Mason?
No.
Well, this driver led a majority of the race and decided to go to the opposite line.
Oh,
Oh, it was Brotherton.
It was Brotherton
Yeah.
on a restart
yep.
because Adam had led almost that whole race, and it was a great race in lap traffic.
Yeah.
And then they had that late race caution.
Yeah. I think he's still kicking himself to this day on that.
Yeah, that was a fun race to watch. Legends. They had 48 legends that year.
Donovan least.
No, Donovan finished 10th.
Oh, never mind. I see.
Yeah.
He's wanted to. He's
I was going to say, it's either Brosset or Ty Wilkie.
He's crossed the line for this twice, Jessup, as the checkered flag, but only has won it once.
it's Mason.
I mean, Mason, you said the name
races
right.
good at the end of the season.
So it's got to be Brosset.
Nope. It's Kakowski.
Oh, Kakowski. Okay.
Yep, Alex Kakowski. You said the name.
I gave him a good.
You did. Okay, so we've done Bomber, Midwest Mod, Legend, Street Stock, Sport Mod, we've done Stock Car, IMCA Modified.
Oh, this is that. Oh, this wasn't the race I was thinking is, but this was a good
This-
race.
This is a
Julie?
good top five.
Yeah,
Was it
this
Julie one of these?
Julie won in 2023.
This individual Mason just won in Dacotah Speedway.
Yes.
Oh, Sean Strand.
Yes.
That's
Sean beat
favorite.
Colin Hibden, who started 17th and went to second.
Mm-hmm.
Brady Biella looked damn good that whole weekend and finished third. Jeremy Keller was fourth, and Wayne Johnson was fifth. Wayne led him for quite a while in that feature event too. Okay, late models.
I feel like this was Cole Schill.
He was second.
Papa Don.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes, Don Shaw won in 2022. In the slingshots, it was Gavin Ettinger that ended up picking up the Stampede Championship.
A track that was almost too wet.
Yes. How many cars do they have that year, guys?
All of them.
291.
No, it was, I believe it was 312 or 311.
Oh, would that have been the record? No, the record's 317.
Record's 317. It was in the top three.
Okay.
It was a big year.
How many do we got here? It won't just tell me how many.
You know what would be nice?
314. It's actually 314. That's how many we had.
It would be nice if we had a stampede again with the weather forecast was just not
Clear.
Yeah, no question marks or anything like that.
Not even.
Oh my God. Is it? Yeah, is it possible though? I don't think it is.
I don't know. The last couple of years have been annoyingly frustrating.
Trying has been the key word on that.
Yes.
Then we got to get rid of the wasps.
No,
Oh, yes.
they have to stay. I mean, we need further entertainment during the weekend.
Hey, if we continue on with the win we're getting, you won't have to worry about that.
I really should check Jessup. You know what's funny about this? I have not watched the videos that I've taken of the cars pulling in the pits yet for the Stampede from last year. I guarantee I caught that on video.
Ow. I just got stung by a wasp.
And then I'm laughing. And I was like, see, the wasp was mad at you because you weren't doing anything either.
Yeah. I feel totally useless. I don't.
He agreed you were being useless. You're like, I'm just standing here feeling useless. And I said, see, he agreed.
Fun times at the Jamestown Stock Car Stampede. Another nice trip down memory lane. I will not go down memory lane per se, but I'm repping kind of just one thing. It's the Street Stock Tour shirt and hat from last year as the tour kicks off this weekend. So, gearing up for that. Although a history lesson, who won the 2025 DRC Street Stock Tour?
I'd like off.
Thought I was going to stump you.
That's not happening.
It was worth the shot. But
I mean, I announced it as he crossed the start-finish line for the final race.
well, to be fair, he had pretty much clinched it coming into that weekend.
Yeah, he definitely had.
Yeah. And he's off to another hot start this year, and I would assume that he's going to be one of the top runners to beat once again this year. So that is who or what we are repping for this episode, and we'll move right into some more memory rewinds, courtesy of Isaac Hot Sauce Sondrol on the 12S. I don't believe he got to the racetrack at all this weekend because his home track, Dacotah Speedway, rained out on Sunday. So, and of course, he's a farmer himself, so I'm sure he greatly appreciates the rain and added moisture, especially after the dust storms and some of the videos I saw last week with the wind. Definitely much in moisture out west in North Dakota. You can follow his racing at 12S Racing on Facebook, and if you are able to go to the races where he's at, stop on down in the pits and say hi, grab one of the treats from the Sondrol Snack Shack, and thank you, Isaac, for your support on the podcast. Jessup, kick us off.
Well, we left off last week with another round of kind of like flashcards.
Kind of like speed dating.
Yeah, kind of, but we're gonna talk flashcards because I am the teacher and class is now in session. The year is 2003. We're naming late models. We are in the numbers 8 and 9 for the majority for a good chunk of this, but we will go until Mason falls out of interest.
You're the teacher, and it's 2003?
2003.
I thought they were all numerics.
Yep, 2003.
New math, apparently.
Yes. Is that
Get in
is
line.
is that Ed Kirchhoffner?
That is Ed Kirchhoff.
Oh,
Very good, Jonathan.
that would be Kent.
Oh,
Very good. Mason, are you catching up on any of this?
he said it too quick. It's a nice late model.
That is a very nice late model.
Tom Nayert.
I don't know who that is.
No.
I wonder if that's like a super late model.
Or a Wisconsin guy. I think
Steve Eisenberg?
it is Steve Eisenberg. Come on, Mason, catch up.
I was going to say Steve Anderson.
Is that is that a 9M?
Yes.
I know this driver too.
Initials JM.
Not Jay McDonald.
Josh
Oh, I don't. Who was that, Justin?
Josh Moan.
Oh, yep. That name's. I was gonna say Dwayne Moan, and I was like, that didn't sound right. Justin, can you push that a little bit closer? I can't see it.
It's a 9W.
I don't know who that is.
Not
I don't recognize that car.
Brad Woolman.
I
Is
would
that a
have
South Dakota driver?
I have no idea. I don't know who this guy is either.
Pete Parker?
Nope.
No,
Hey,
no idea on that one either.
Turley, Furby, Dale Furby.
I don't know that one. I don't know that one.
Okay, this one will be a little easier.
That's Pete Parker.
Very good. Oops.
That's Robert Binns.
Hey,
And in the background is Royce Chalowski in the 56.
that one I was going to get
This one is a
to.
hurry.
Cat door.
Dang it.
Troy Schill.
Troy Shield.
Oh, Mason. Finally.
Finally got one.
We said it at the same time, Mason. That would be the 11T.
Yep. Last
No, it's
11.
not. That almost looks like a Paul Mueller car.
It's a Paul Mueller car, but I don't. It's one of his drivers.
Yeah, I don't know who.
Is that
it just says
is
Mueller.
that Tommy Thompson?
Could be. It says Mueller on the back.
Okay. Chad Becker?
This is Chad Becker. Very good.
I only recognize because the McDonald's car. in the back.
That's Mike.
Wisconsin guy job.
Yep, good something on the back.
Yes, good remote.
Yes.
That's a really sweet looking late model.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
also had a 21 that looked just like that too.
Okay, we're staying in Wisconsin. He still races. He's very good. Won the Dirt Kings a handful of times.
15 from
Oh,
Wisconsin.
Anveling?
Yes.
Nick Anveling.
Yes. This we could get
Oh, that's a good one too. That's oh
JK.
God, I've seen it in person even, this driver.
JK.
JK. That's not helping me.
John.
Krutinsky?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see here. Who's this
If
guy?
y'all haven't figured out, I'm terrible at late models.
Uh,
I don't
is
know.
that
S.
is that a Brown?
Yes.
It's a Brown, right, Jessup?
Yes.
What's his first name?
S. Starts with an S.
Steve Brown?
No.
Scott Brown.
There it is.
That almost looks like a Mike Balkin car. Chad
That's Chad
Onstead.
Onstead.
That's actually not a bad looking little late model.
No, Chad Onstead's late model was very, very sharp back then. That was one of his better schemes for sure. Steve Vessel.
Okay.
Derek Vessel?
Also Steve Vessel.
John with the win.
Steve Vessel.
Stevie Vessel.
That was a pretty good speed round.
That wasn't bad. You guys did really good.
That's probably the best we've done.
Should be called like the lightning round.
It should be quick time. Paul
Right,
Menard.
here's your NASCAR one.
Paul Menard. It's not Paul Menard.
Is that Kyle Busch?
It is Kyle Busch.
Paul Menard.
They even have the same
I don't know
car.
how I knew that was Kyle Busch, but for some reason it just reminded me of Kyle Busch.
Same year, 2003.
Nice.
All right, now we're into dirt track racing.
That is Kurt Kranz?
That is Kirk Kranz.
Good pull, John.
Can you name the track?
Dakota Speedway.
Good job.
Oh, this driver still races.
It's the same exact car he's racing this year.
Same exact car.
Do you know the driver's name?
Well, yeah, but I'm going to give this one to Jessup.
Don't know.
Oh, come on, Jessup. You can find this one out pretty quick and easy.
No.
All you have to do is just go to My Race Pass and find the number 88 Street Stock, and it's Casey Karstens.
Oh,
Yes. It says Karstens on the bottom.
I don't cheat.
From 2016, by the way. And that car is...
Well, and I don't think he's really raced it. Has he?
Not too many times.
He
He's
has.
from Mitchell, South Dakota.
Until Huron reopened was when I was like, hey, the car's back out.
Yep.
Is that Tony Knold?
It is.
Huh?
Okay.
I love this scheme.
I really like that scheme, too. I don't remember him in that scheme.
Yeah, this is during his Midwest Modified days, also from 2016. Can you name the track on this one?
Boy, that's going to be a hard one. Is that Fiesta City?
No, same area, though.
Madison?
That is Madison. Back to Huron.
That's Tyler Lambert.
Ooh,
Eric
good
Moss
shot.
is to the high side.
Yep.
That's Huron, Dakota State Fair Speedway.
It's a 4. That's Eric Moss in the middle.
Yep. Yes. Who's the 51?
That's Bevelik.
Pedelik?
Oh.
It would be a Bayenhoff.
Okay, well, there. I was close.
Yeah,
I still like my pull in the middle.
Nick
Was that
Bayenhoff.
Nick? Is that Nick Bainhoff?
It was Nick
Go
Bayenhoff.
back. Which one? The
Nick
51?
Bainhoff is in the 51.
Yeah. I still like my pull for the...
For the 44 of Eric Moss that I said, like,
See, he said it like 10
15
seconds
seconds
before
before
you
you.
That John said. Hey, John.
I'll give it to you,
Eric
Jessup,
Moss.
though. You got it right.
Good job.
Yeah.
That is Troy Speed.
Yes,
Why not?
it is Minot. And one last one, also Minot.
That is Bryce Beck and Dylan Barnhart.
Yes, and fun fact about this picture, this was taken in August of 2010. This is the first race after the new grandstand got constructed.
Oh, nice. Look at how full the grandstands actually look, too.
Are we playing a
Yeah.
game with Mason?
What's that?
Are you in this photo, Mason?
Let's see. I would be. I don't know if you can see my mouse. I would typically be next to this pole with the E.
That's not you in the front row.
No, it is not.
That's not that little like tire mark that's on the,
No, he's
above the
above the
wall.
tire mark.
What the heck is?
Oh,
How?
okay. I don't know what that is. That must be like some kind of like I don't know.
I
Is
have
it a
no idea what
sponsor?
the heck that is.
And why is it floating there?
That's what I'm
That's a good
wondering.
question.
I don't know.
Really good question. Okay.
It's a race car. Uh,
Sean Strand.
Yes, but the question is, which track?
is this the track north of Lincoln?
Nope.
I still feel like it's Dacotah Speedway.
Nope.
Can't
What's
be.
funny is that this
That
is an
part gets
IMCA
fast.
mod at a Wasota show.
Is that is that Jamestown?
Nope.
It must be Aberdeen.
Yep.
Oh wow.
I also like what Sean's sponsor is. Too bad this place actually had to shut down.
Waste
Oh,
But
the
man.
little cottage.
yep, Little Cottage Cafe is right there on the front of the car.
Oh yes, the hideaway.
So yeah, that's Sean's mod though from 2002.
Oh,
Wow. 790. That's a radio station, and I think this is in Jamestown, isn't it?
It might be from like a Jamestown photo, but I don't know. I don't think this is Jamestown. I think this is also I think Brown County.
oh,
Okay. So I'm pretty sure this is a Fargo driver because of the
It
sponsors.
is a Fargo driver.
I don't know who the heck would have raced a 790 though.
This driver still races today, not in the Minnesota Street Stock division.
Todd Carter.
No, he races in the NX Legends.
Well, then I was right.
Oof.
This driver ran a lot at the Red River Valley Speedway, but also down at the Cheyenne Speedway.
Gosh.
His
Brian
number is still
Frederick
on the car that he still has today.
still on the car.
Yeah, It's not 790 on his new what it is today, but it's still part of the number.
Oh, dang it. Scotty Richardson.
Yes, it is. He ran that
Nice.
number for a couple years.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
This isn't Mike Jans, is it?
It is.
Like chance. Wow.
Isn't that a paint scheme?
That's an interesting paint scheme.
I like it. That's my paint scheme of the week, Mason.
It's
Well, it's
good.
got
I do
flames on
agree.
it and it's gray, so this doesn't surprise me.
This is true, especially the gray part.
Okay, Dwayne Zabel,
Yup.
and I have no idea if that's a 10
Oh, you don't have to name
2000.
the one on top. I was more just concerned about Dwayne Zabel because um what track? You know?
It looks like Huron.
I think it's Huron. Yep. So yeah, Dwayne Zabel though. Which is kind of interesting because right, Dwayne doesn't race anymore, but his
His
sons
son.
race.
Yep. Yes, yes, indeed. Got to see one of his sons in action down at the Dakota State First Speedway, which we'll be talking about in just a little bit. And that'll do it for the Hot Sauce Hot Memory Rewind. And onto our track back report. Again, a little bit slimmed down than what we are normally used to with the just a few races taking place over the weekend, or just a couple days worth of racing, I should say. I will start things off. Friday night action. I went down to the Fiesta City Speedway. It was their, I believe, third night of racing. It was honestly a very weird night. It was windy, and the late models were off from the program as they had the Challenge Series weekend taking place in Minnesota. And as well, the modifieds had their one and only show there. The problem is the heat races took a while because we had a bunch of cautions, and the fire truck had to leave at two different points to go tend to emergencies. So heat races didn't get done until after 9:30, which was made things a little frustrating and kind of keep things moving, but kind of made for like a pseudo intermission because once the last heat race got done, they just moved right into the features. So that's where we will pick things up, starting with the Fiesta City Pure Stocks. And the guy that's been the person to beat is Jason Best, who was 2 for 2 going into the night, and he started on the pole, and pretty much held serve from start to finish. He had challenges from Justin Erb, Carter Rice, and Mason Fester, but at the end, Jason Best goes 3 for 3 to start the season in the Pure Stocks. So good start to the season for him. Midwest Modifieds had some trouble getting going on their feature race. They had 2 cautions within the first couple of laps, but that didn't slow down the 15 Ryan Flaughton. He was one of the cars that was be able to make the high side work consistently, and he would consistently drive away on every single restart. He had a spirited battle for second behind him between Darren Angesser and Justin Bjorklund, but Ryan Flaughton gets the win in the Midwest Modifieds. Then your street stocks came out. It was a battle up front to start with between Mike Jans and Dustin Schultz as Jans held the early lead. After the first caution, Keith Tourville, who had started 8th on the field, was using the bottom part of the track while everyone else was running top. And once he got to the lead, he checked out. And by checked out, I mean to the tune of 6 seconds at the very end. So he definitely had his car dialed in on Friday night as he went on to get the feature win. Dustin Schultz made a late race pass on Mike Jans for second. And shout out to Justin the Wolverine Vogel. Flat tire in his heat, started basically tailing Charlie 16th and got up to 5th at the very end. Super Stocks had a very clean and green race, had 10 Super Stocks in attendance, so that's quite a bit more than what they usually get. So it was nice to see a couple heats worth of Super Stocks. And it was Bailey Roche, his first time out this year, leading the charge from the pole, but he had Travis Scott and Carter Renz running him down. And it was like a slow grind as they were kind of whittling the laps away. Scott was running in second, Renz in third. Scott got within about 2 car lengths going into turns 1 and 2 and just blew it over the top lip just a little bit too much in turns 1 and 2. And that left Kurt Slang for Bailey Roche to get his first feature win in front of Carter Renz and Travis Scott. Then your Modifieds with their one show this season. The track was mostly the groove around the middle to bottom, except for one guy, and that was Ryan Flaughton. Railed the high side and checked out on the field once again. So he went 2 for 2 on races on Friday night at the Fiesta City Speedway. He finished first in front of Brian Hobbin and Don Eichens. And then your Hornets, 18 Hornets strong, and a lot of chaos, but pretty good racing. As we have a lot of drivers that are new to the class, so they're kind of getting their feet wet, making some laps, and the leaders were hitting lap traffic very quick. So it's fun to watch the leaders weave in and out of lap traffic. And Bradley Rosso was leading the race. We had William Lang running him down. Actually made the pass on him halfway through the race until a caution came out. So I reverted him back. But a few laps later, he got back around Rosso. And William Lang gets his first, I believe that's his first win at Fiesta City Speedway in front of Rosso and Adam Vanderstein for your top 3. And that was your night at Fiesta City Speedway. Late night, but overall, pretty good racing action. And kudos to the crew for persevering through such a weird timed night, I would say. Meanwhile, back over in North Dakota, we had the Dacotah Speedway racing once again. Jessup, how did Friday night go over in Mandan?
Well, Mason, it was another blustery and windy night at the Dacotah Speedway. And no, I don't mean just John talking about whatever John talks about when he's announcing. It was super windy all day. It was super windy for about, what would you say, John? About 70% of the night?
Yeah, it was weird because it was really windy until basically like the hobby stock started their feature and it finally started going down. And by the time the Legends were in, it was like no wind.
Yeah. Except for John. He was still very windy.
I was still very winded.
He was blustery out of the tower. Overall, the racing was pretty good, I thought. Different style racing than what Dacotah Speedway is used to. There was an actual berm for them to bank it off up top, and it's led to a lot more of the racing leading up on the high side of the track rather than the more usual bottom side dominant style of the track. But overall, pretty good racing. John, what did you think?
I agree with Jessup on that. A little bit different track conditions than what we're used to, which is kind of nice to see, right? Because A lot of times it'll provide different types of individuals up front, different groups, and different type of driving style that makes people kind of think a little bit when they're racing, right? Not the same standard ham setups or anything else that you were used to. Like Jessup said, it was nice to see the little bit of a lip on top so they could rail the top. But yeah, overall though, Jessup, like you said, it was nice having a lip on top of the track because the drivers were able to basically have something to lean on a little bit on the high side, and that was kind of cool to see because the feature racing action was definitely a little bit different than what we're used to seeing from basically kind of the grooves, right? A lot of times bottom's pretty good, middle might be pretty good, top is somewhat there, but it takes a lot of times to build up momentum to get the top working. This time around, it was definitely you could rail the top, which was kind of cool to see. So kind of like the Mod Tour last year, right? Mod Tour they could do the same thing on, which is kind of cool at Dakota Speedway. But yeah, let's just start off with the results. 10 slingshots in attendance. It was a battle up front between two of the hot shoes in the class, which was Caden Davenport and Landon Hallgren. Caden used some very fast footwork to get to the front the first lap. And
Which
then, but no, those two drivers did a very heated battle up front, and Landon passed him with about 2 laps to go and picked up his second win in a row. So it was Landon and Caden Davenport as your top two. Hobby stock division. That was the kind of a fun race to watch. So, like Jessup said, it was definitely a pretty tacky track for the hobby stocks. They had 15 total hobby stocks. And they ran, I believe it was the first 11 laps pretty clean until unfortunate break for John Gardner Jr. He went up in a cloud of smoke out of turn two onto the back straightaway. I think he was running third when that happened. But at that time it was Kelly Horner that was kind of leading the way. Kelly had about probably a 3 car length lead over Seth Keller. Seth Keller's looked really good to start the season in that 07 hobby stock on Wilton. Caution came out, it kind of bunched him back up for the restart, and it was definitely Josh Rourke that got the restart of the night. Was able to use the high line, went 3 wide with Seth Keller and Kelly Horner for the lead, and Seth Keller picked up second. Josh Rourke was the winner, and Brody Michelson was top three with Kelly Horner finishing in fourth. So this class I think is going to have some pretty heated points battles because Seth Keller has looked really good to start the season in the points, and he's got some very hot shoes right on his tail for the points race. So Bobby Stocks I think are going to be very spirited for the points championship this year. Plus, as they hit the month of June, they're going into the Merriweather Challenge. So pretty soon they're going to be hitting that series that is going to be hitting the tracks of Dacotah Speedway, Jamestown Speedway, and Tri-County Speedway. So that'll be coming up here. They'll have 4 shows in June, and then they're going to have 2 shows in July. So that'll be coming up here pretty soon. But congratulations to Josh Rourke on his first win of the season. Legends. Legends was a fun race to watch too, as it was Ty Olson that kind of took the lead of the Legends feature and never relinquished it. He looked really good. That was his first Dakota Speedway win, which is kind of cool to see. 37 Legends in attendance on Friday night. But the battle was behind him as Preston Martin was using everything under his power to get to the front, and he was racing very hard with Bryce Barnhart. He actually made a couple mistakes. Preston went off the back straightaway once, trying to use the high line to get by somebody and got on the berm a little bit and got off the top of turn two, brought it back on, and did the same thing in turn four at one point and brought it back on. So he had worked his way up to like third and then into second, and then he moved himself back to like sixth at one point, moved his way back up to like third, and then moved his way back down to ninth. And then at the end of it, moved his way back up to second at the finish line. Tough break for Bryce Barnhart, as he was second majority of that race, ended up being a DNF. Austin Weist finished in third. So Austin's had a very nice start to the season. He's actually your current points leader in Mandan after his third place finish on Friday night. And I have to give a huge shout out to Gus Jensen, picking up a top 5 at the Dakota Speedway and looking very sporty on Friday night. So that's back-to-back top 10 and top 5 for Gus. So Gus has had a very nice start to his 2026 season as well at the Dakota Speedway. So congratulations to Ty Olson in victory lane. Stock cars. Stock cars was a fun race. We had Jason Berg. Jason Berg was not with us last week. He had to end up working. So he was back this week. And Jason got his first Dakota Speedway win since 2017 in the IMCA Sport Compacts. He's won at a few other tracks in the stock cars over here the last couple of years. However, the interesting part about on Friday night, Jason never did not lead a lap. Jason led every single lap of every single race he was in on Friday night to pick up his first win in Mandan in several years, first one in the stock car over in Mandan. He had to fend off the likes of Andrew Yoakum. Andrew and him put on a pretty spirited battle after a restart from a caution. Um, Jeff Hellman had worked his way up. We had 19 stock cars in attendance. He had a flat tire in his heat race, worked his way up from the back up to third. And you have to give a shout out to the wild child, Travis Ulmer, who's had a very nice start to his season too. Had some bad luck the first week with a DNF, but besides that, he was second. He was runner up. So that was kind of cool to see Travis back up in victory lane with the runner up on Friday night. And congratulations to Jason. Huge win. Looked really good on Friday night in his IMCA stock car. And then the modifieds rounded out the night. And track was very topside. By that time, they could rail the top side. They were also had a bottom and they also had a middle that they could use too. But it was definitely faster on the top end. Mark Dahl and Sean Strand, two drivers that know Dakota Speedway very well, battled early in that feature event before Sean Strand got the lead. With about halfway through that feature event, maybe about 15 laps remaining in that feature event, Strand picked up his first win of the year at Dakota Speedway. And have to give a shout out to Hot Rod Helibus, who was running one of Quentin Kinsley's cars. Marched his way up to the front past Mark Dahl with only a couple laps left and got the runner-up spot. So nice to see Hot Rod back in Dakota Speedway victory lane as well, down there with the runner-up with Sean Strand being the feature winner. So yeah, 99 cars in total in attendance on Friday night. So really good car count still for the Dakota Speedway. And like Jessup said, it was a pretty darn good show of racing as the track definitely provided it with a little bit of lip on top so they could rail the top. We saw a lot of slide jobs on Friday night, which was kind of cool to see, and a lot of people that could get back around them in the next turn run on the high side. So that part was pretty fun.
Yeah, and it was kind of cool when you put out the stat that Jason Burke hadn't won a feature out there since 2017. Although you probably could have thrown a caution on John during the event itself.
Very much so.
He had that stat all ready to go for the fans, and what happened, John?
Well, I had prepared it. I was waiting for Jason to get out of the car, prepared, prepped, ready to go, did the whole announcement, and then all of a sudden in my mind I'm thinking, why am I hearing Becca on the loudspeaker and not myself? Oh, I didn't take myself off of mute. So I heard the whole thing in the tower myself. Nobody else heard a word of it.
Classic.
Classic thing where it's like, oh, that's right. You never did hear yourself come through the loudspeaker. I wonder why.
I love it when we just have to laugh at ourselves when we make mistakes. But hey, still cool stat.
Yeah.
So awesome. Good to hear. Nice to see some and hear about some different winners over in Mandan as well. The last race on the weekend that the Track Packers got to in person, I ventured all the way down to the Dakota State Fair Speedway in Huron, South Dakota, and it was my first time there since 2020. And so it was their second race of their season. They're back to regular, basically weekly racing. They have a couple more races this month, so they have a busy month of May and a busy month of June. They run 4 classes. They run the Rousseau Street Stocks, Midwest Mods, Super Stocks, and Late Models. And it was actually pretty warm. It was almost 80 degrees down there. Not as windy as up here, but definitely some summer type weather. And they're definitely putting the work in. I know they've had some just kind of some growing pains. I know before the Midwest Mods came out, the lights wouldn't come on half the track. So we had a little bit of delay on that, and thankfully they had an electrician on site, so it wasn't too much of a delay, but just some of those things that they're kind of working through. They had live timing for the first time there this year. They had installed that system the couple days before, so definitely working out the kinks, and kudos to the crew down there for doing a great job. So street stocks, they had 16 street stocks in attendance. They kicked off feature race action first, and the last time I was at Huron, and from some of the videos I've seen, a lot of times they run around the bottom of the track. Well, this night was different. With the way the track was kind of like blowing off, they were actually running kind of the middle to the top part of the track, which is definitely different to see. And so the groove was kind of around the middle part of the track. Maria Brooksick started on the pole alongside Wyatt Brooker. Had a couple of early challenges from Brooker, as Brooker is actually doing a really good job staying with Maria. But Maria would lead from start to finish for the 15-lap event and take the feature win in front of Brock Stout, who's also one of the locals down there, and Wyatt Brooker would finish in third. Midwest Mods were up next, and again, another race where there were a couple of slide jobs taking place at the start between Scott Hansen and Dawson Zabel, as those two shared the front row. And Scott got the early lead, and from there is trying to hold off the 14 of Adam Brotherton and the 1 of Jake Rannick. And Scott would go on to get the feature win on that night. And so, great start to the season for Scott in the 31 machine as well. Super Stocks took to the track next, and it was Brad Kopecky with the early lead. And he would be holding off a very fast 22 of Bryson North. Bryson would be the early challenger along with Trevor Nelson, who started in fifth. Unfortunately for Bryson, he broke with a few laps to go, hoping it's just a distributor problem and not engine, because it didn't sound great when it went past the flags and a big pop, and that was it. There was a caution that came out for another car that spun, which set up a 4-lap shootout between Trevor Nelson and Brad Kopecky. After a couple slide job attempts by Trevor Nelson, Kopecky crossed him back over, and he would hold on to get a very emotional feature win. That was his first super stock win down in Huron. And of course, if you know the Kopecky family, they lost Mackenzie 7 months ago after a battle with cancer. So very, very emotional victory lane and very, very popular win for the 5 machine. And then your late models finished out the program. They had 9 late models in attendance. It was Mike Stearns and Chad Becker on the front row, 2 very, very fast drivers. Mike Stearns got the early jump and set sail from there in the green to checker affair. He would navigate lap traffic quite a bit better than his competitors, and he had a very sizable lead at the finish. So Mike Stearns getting another feature win down in Huron in front of Chad Becker and Chase Gelling in the 18 machine. And that was your racing down in Huron. Love that track. I love the big tracks. Such a spectacle to be a part of, and I'm hoping to get down there at least 1 or 2 more times before the season's done. And that is your track packer report for this week, as Sunday, pretty much in the upper Midwest, completely wiped out by Mother Nature. So now we will move on into our upcoming events for the weekend, but we have to give a shout out to our newest sponsor, Paul Bunyan Mini Storage out of Bemidji, Minnesota. Well, you can store it all with Paul. If you need a storage unit for storing any of your summer activities or winter activities, whether it's a bunch of shirts that John may be stowing away in his house, or if you have a 5th-wheel camper, all different sizes, they're climate controlled, all sorts of various amenities. Go check out Paul Bunyan Mini Storage out of Bemidji. They have 3 different locations, and they actually have, I saw on their Facebook page, a sale on some storage units taking place, I believe, on May 28th. So be sure to check that out if you're in the area. Again, thank you to Dean Eggebraaten and his whole crew for the support on the Track Packers. So, Mr. Dakota Dirt, what do we have upcoming next for a busy Memorial Day weekend?
Yes, the weather is going to win.
I don't know. Maybe one day, but I don't think for the majority.
Well, it might hit 40%.
Well, 40% is kind of the percentage where it's just like, we don't know. 40%, sure.
Well, considering one track's already canceled.
Which one's that?
Tri-County canceled.
Well, that's for a different reason, though.
Doesn't matter. I can still say it was for the weather.
You know what, Jessup? It was probably they were scared because Mason's in the vicinity.
You know, he drove by somehow. Really?
No, in all seriousness, no. Really proud of Tri-County because they're doing some upgrades to their grandstand as well as some additional concrete work. So, the county's going to put that in here in May. So their season did get pushed to June, but they'll still have a great season of racing, and I'm excited to see how that looks once it's done because it's always nice to see improvements to the facilities.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Mason, it looks to be a really good weekend of racing here. I am just realizing it's Memorial Day weekend. Great.
Good job, Jessup.
Yep.
It was about this time last year we were in, not last year, how many years ago was that now? Like 3 or 4 years? When we were in Indianapolis, Illinois with Becca.
Oh
Yeah, that's got to
yes,
be what was that 3 years, Jessup now?
It's
I
three.
think no, that was season
Well, it's
one.
got
I'm
to be
pretty sure that was
four.
season one.
It had to be four because
Yeah.
Larson raced the following year.
Yes. Larson did. Yep. So it would have been. It would have been. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. So it would have been season one.
Anyways, Thursday, the 21st, looks like McLean County Speedway's kicking off their opening night for the season. They will have IMCA Sport mods, IMCA stock cars, IMCA hobby stocks, the Western Renegade Sprint Series, and NX Legends on hand. That will get kicking off at around 7 p.m. And then on a rare Thursday night show, the River City Speedway will be racing the Wayne Anderson Cup, 410 NOSA Sprints, Wissota Late Models, Wissota Streets, Wissota Mid Mods, and the NX Legends. And then Tri County is off because, well, they got work to get done, which is good for them. So then we go over to Friday the 22nd, and it's Fix It Forward Speedway. They really should have named it a different way, like the Red River Valley Speedway presented by Fix It Forward.
Well, the way way you sounded it out, it sounds like it's a Ford dealership now.
Presented by
No, the way you said forward.
Fix It. Well, what is it supposed to be?
You said it right. It just the way you say forward, it sounded like Ford to me, and I was confused.
It's the Fix It Forward. If we're going with that, that makes sense. Anyways, their opening night, season opener, will have all of the regular classes, IMCA modifieds, IMCA stocks, stock cars, IMCA 305, Race Saver sprint cars, IMCA hobby stocks, IMCA sport mods, and NX Legends. Then over at the Dacotah Speedway, it is Military Appreciation Night with the non-winged sprints of the Renegade, Western Renegade wingless sprints. IMCA mods, IMCA stock cars, hobby stocks, NX Legends, the Renegade wingless sprints, and the slingshots have been given the night off, so we don't go into 1:30 in the morning. Now, on the 23rd, it looks like the Jamestown Speedway is getting things going. John, anything exciting happening over there?
They'll just do the so a couple quick things. Season opener, right? They had a pretty good test and tune last week. I got to see. I wasn't over there for test and tune, but it looks like quite a few cars were over there. Some throwback paint schemes. I like Kyle England's throwback paint scheme to his dad. I thought that was really cool for the old super stock days. But no, it'll be a meet and greet in Victory Lane ahead of time to see the new paint schemes and new cars from 6 to about 6:40, 6:45. And then yeah, bombers, legends, Midwest mods, street stocks, modifieds, and slingshots to start the season.
Nice. We got to double check something here. I believe Thunder Mountain is off.
Let me check too. I have it on my
Because I
Google
remember seeing something
calendar.
from their Facebook.
Yes, you're right. They did delay their opening night. You are correct.
Well, that's puts an end to Saturday's racing. On the 24th, the Nodak Speedway will be racing. It is Memorial Day / Military Appreciation Night. IMCA mods, stock cars, sport mods, hobby stocks, and sport compacts. And then on the 25th, on Memorial Day, the Cheyenne Speedway has their Memorial Day special kids night with Wissota mid mods, Wissota street stocks, hobby stocks / bombers, and short trackers / Hornets, NX Legends, and Race Saver 305 sprints. That's usually a really good show over there.
Memorial Day is always a really fun time down in Cheyenne. I didn't realize they had 305 sprints that day too.
That's what they had. Let me double check one more thing.
Those things fly around Lisbon.
Yep. Let's see. No races this weekend at Devil's Lake, but the bar will be open.
Okay.
That's what it says.
Yeah, they're usually are they usually off guys from the
For graduations.
yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. I thought they were usually off.
So, busy weekend in the state of North Dakota for dirt track racing. And of course, things starting off on Thursday again outside the state of North Dakota. We have Grand Rapids going to kick off their season on Thursday, and KRA with take two for their season opener as they got rained out last Thursday. Friday, got a lot going on. We got Brown County with their weekly classes racing. We have Fiesta City Speedway with a Hornet special, so there's going to probably be a fair amount of Hornets down there for that race. The Mod Nationals taking place in Ogilvie for night number one. Dead Horse Creek Speedway kicking off their season. And then the I-94 EMR Speedway hosting the Dirt Race Central Street Stock Tour the first night of the weekend. We move on to Saturday the 23rd. Back to Ogilvie for Mod Nationals, night number two over there. Again, Dead Horse Creek Speedway racing their doubleheader. Cedar Lake Speedway. Greenbush opening their season. Looks like Hibbing, North Central, Rice Lake having their kids' night and bike giveaway, and then Viking Speedway with their second night, and they're also hosting the first of two nights for the Dirt Race Central Street Stock Tour, so 3 nights for that tour swing. And then Sunday, Chicken Shack National is at the Bemidji Speedway, first of, I believe, 2 days of racing. Casino Speedway back in action. Ogilvie actually is racing 3 nights on the weekend, and Redwood Speedway also running. And then I think we got one more on Monday that we haven't mentioned, and that's Madison Speedway kicking off their season. So, Memorial Day weekend, one of the biggest weekends of the year. No excuse to not find a racetrack in your vicinity to take part in some racing action. And we'll probably see a lot of racers come out of the woodworks for this weekend because there's been a lot of people trying to get their cars ready for this weekend to kick off their season. With that, we will now display the white flag and give a shout out to our good friend Brody Carlsrud in the B1 IMCA stock car. He finally got to kick off the season this past weekend at the Norman County Raceway over in Ada on a rare Friday night. And he had a pretty decent run. He finished in the top 5 in 4th, so good start to his season. Be sure to keep up with his racing on Brody Carlsrud B1 Racing and also his podcast, The Real Deal with B1. Good luck on the season, Brody, and thank you for supporting us on the Track Packers. Who do we have this week, Jessup, for wins of the week?
Well, I'll take Jason Berg as first one. It's been a long little stretch since his last time at the Dacotah Speedway Victory Lane. So he gets my first win. My second win, I'll go with Ryan Michelson, picking up the big Jeff Hankemeyer Memorial win over at Viking Speedway. And my third win, I'll go with the Ironman Scotty Neitzel with his big last lap pass in the IRA sprint car showdown at Plymouth Speedway.
Yes, that was a very, very good finish and good race. Also noteworthy for Ryan Michelson, I think that was his first Challenge Series win. He's been
Was
knocking out the
Yep.
door of that for a long, long time. Excellent wins. John, who are your wins?
My first one is going to go to a driver that is a defending Dirt Race Central Minnesota Street Stock Tour champion, Kyle Dykhoff. He swept the weekend in his class. He went 2 for 2 heats and features with the I-94 Speedway and also at the Viking Speedway. So congratulations to Kyle. I read kind of the recap from Tom Berg on his blog from the Viking Speedway on Saturday night, and I agree with Tom. Kyle used to struggle a little bit at Viking, but he definitely has Viking figured out. Ever since basically the last couple of years, pretty much within those regards, and finally got the monkey off his back to get a win at Viking, and he's looked very strong ever since. So, congratulations to Kyle on a very very nice win. My second win of the week, I am going to give it. I think I'm going to go down. I might go down to Huron. I think within some of those classes, because they had a very nice night of racing. And it's a driver that kind of rebounded from a pretty rough week one down there. And I'm going to give it to another Soda Street Stock driver, Maria Brosick, for picking up the win down at the Dakota State Fair Speedway because she had a pretty rough first week down there and rebounded very nicely this week, beating a driver that's been very hot as of late, which is Brock Stout, because Brock picked up the win over at Aberdeen on Friday and was runner-up on Saturday and over there. So good run to her. My third win of the week. I'm going to give it to Ty Olson, who had two feature wins this week. He won his first one at the Dakota Speedway in the Legends on Friday night, then made the long trek over to the Big Sky Speedway in Billings on Saturday and picked up the win there too. So put on a lot of miles, but got two wins this weekend in the 7T NX Legend.
Hopefully the wind blew him there because that's a long drive.
It's a long drive.
Yep. Good set of wins for you as well, John. For my first win of the week, I'm going to go north of the border to Estevan and give it to Stan Mayer in the 7M IMCA Sport Mod. Now, I actually grew up watching Stan up at the Dacotah Speedway when he was racing the IMCA Modifieds, and he's been racing the Sport Mod the last couple of years. His first career IMCA victory this past weekend. So big congrats out to Stan Mayer. That's a very, very popular win up, especially at his home track. My second win, I'm going to give it to Brad Kopecky once again, just with the emotion in victory lane. Like, I was tearing up, like kind of standing down there, just like everyone, all of his family members were there with a huge win down in Huron, and definitely a lot of emotion going into that, and a lot of tough times since Mackenzie passed, and so I wanted to give another shout out to him. And then my third win, I'm actually going to stay in the state of South Dakota. I'm going to give it to Adam Brotherton. One of the things he did was bring his race car to one of the schools in the area, and the kids had a blast, and got to hang out with the kids, put them in the race car, and kind of just network and kind of talk about the races. And I saw a couple other drivers do that throughout their areas and hometowns, and I think that's something that we'd love to see drivers take advantage of and do a lot, because kids love stuff like that, bringing their cars out and get to see it up close and personal. So shout out to Adam Brotherton for doing that down in the Huron area as well. So with that, as we close the episode, any closing thoughts or any plans for the big Memorial Day weekend stretch?
I am, depending on weather, right? It's going to be a fun weekend for us. I plan on at least hitting at least 3 to 4 tracks this weekend during the long weekend, which would be kind of fun to see from there, and then getting various tracks to open back up around us, which would be kind of exciting. I know, Mason, you're excited for the Street Stock Tour. Some paint schemes that I really enjoyed this past week that were released. I really like Dan Aberley's IMCA stock car. I think that paint scheme turned out very nice with the new wrap that he put on his stock car. So that one I think was a really, really nice wrap that he's got on the car for this year. Let's see, Mason. Who else on here? I do like the throwback paint scheme that Colton Brower put to his dad's car, his old
yes.
Minnesota Street Stock. So back to his dad, Jeff Brower. I think that was really cool.
2002, I believe, is when that scheme
I think it was 2002. I looked it up, and I think I found it from 2001, 2002 era. And so that car was pretty cool looking too. And it's it's nice to see Colton back out in his streak, because he's the defending Minnesota Street Stock national champion.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't been out before this weekend, but just kind of getting things set up. I know his girlfriend is racing the Hornet, so was working on getting her going up in racing, and so kind of just waiting until now, and I believe he's going to be running the Street Stock Tour full-time this year, so that's going to be fun to see how he does. I know for myself this weekend, if all goes well, 5 nights of racing. So could have almost, actually, surprisingly, almost double the race count just in one weekend so far in the month of May, which is weird to say at this point.
Boy, Mason, if I hit all my tracks, I will also be doubling right now.
It's been a weird month of May, like having 1 to 2. Well, besides the first weekend where I hit 3 tracks, I think it's been 2, yeah. So that's crazy. But yeah, I'm planning to head up to River Cities, and then I-94 and Viking for the Street Stock Tour, and then Lisbon on Monday for Memorial Day. That's the initial plan right now. Jessup, what are your plans for Memorial Day weekend? Hitting up Dacotah Speedway and relaxing, or you got any special plans?
Will be at least one race this weekend, maybe two, probably just one.
Do you have softball this weekend too?
No, not this weekend.
Okay.
A couple weekends out.
I'll say, but that's starting up pretty quick too.
Yeah. Yep. Because the tournament season for you guys starts in June, right, Jessup, usually?
It's already started.
Okay.
The last 2, 3 weekends have had race tournaments, but our teams that I'm on have decided to pick a more selective tournament selection this year.
Okay.
Every little thing,
Okay.
which is
Okay.
nice, but sad, but nice. But either probably Dacotah Speedway, Jamestown. See what Thursday brings. If it's too wet for softball, maybe try to sneak up to McLean. That'd be kind of fun, but I we'll see what happens with that. And then we'll continue to tinker with a potential new segment coming up, just to bring drama to people. No, I'm bored, so we might bring back the power rankings. We've been playing with the,
Dabbling. Dabbling.
yeah. Well, I believe there should be a component of strength of field size to it versus just where you finish in your feature. And I know some people will say, "Oh, well, you can only race those what's at the track." Well, yeah, but if one track has 18 to 24 cars in a class and another track has only 6 cars in that class, it shouldn't balance out to be the same. But anyways, the power ranking components are looking at overall finish in your feature. You'll get like 24 for finishing first and so forth, all the way down, dropping by one, kind of like IMCA points. And then I do believe there's some value and merit to winning your heat, so there'll be like 1 point added there. And then there's a percentage multiplication. There's like two of those. And then if you race multiple nights, say like Marcus Tomlinson does every week, there's a increased value to that versus racing only one, but it doesn't really hinder you to race one. And then the good old field size. And then get to the end and you see where we're at. And
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of what we're playing with. We're only going to do one, maybe two classes max. Only because it takes a lot of time.
True, and especially when you try to compare if you're trying to do it statewide, West versus East, the classes are mostly different besides a couple of tracks. So, yeah, and the East side has basically just been started.
Yeah. And then the other aspect is, do we average 2 weeks or 3 weeks at a time, or do we just go one strict week and then put them up for that? I'm not real sure yet.
Yeah, excellent. So, yeah, that'd be fun to get the power rankings back and kind of create some more dialogue, some fun little chatter, especially leading up into the next couple of months as we hit the Dakota Classic Modified Tour, which I believe, did they just open registrations on that?
Yes, registration opened, and they have a very nice field of drivers that have already registered in the, for sure, IMCA stock car division because IMCA stock cars this year, the payouts have increased in the stock cars. They're going to put more money into the purse this year for the stock car division. Plus, modifieds have been putting on a great show the last couple of years, but the stock cars have been kind of stealing the show in several tracks and several events. So it'll be a good mix again this year. But yes, registration is open, so drivers get registered. That's always a fun week in July.
Yes. Looking forward to that weekend. That is a good portion of that is on my tentative schedule right now. So, any other closing thoughts before we wrap up the show?
Wave the flag, Mason. Wave the flag.
we will wave the flag and close the show on episode 6 of season 5 for the Track Packers. As always, be sure to like, share, and comment. We love and appreciate all the support this season. Thank you to our sponsors, Paul Bunyan Mini Storage, Isaac Hot Sauce Sondrol, and The Real Deal with B1 Brody Carlsrud. Memorial Day weekend is coming upon us. Thank you to all the veterans and those that have served to keep our freedoms. And we hope with all the racing, we will see you out there packing the track.